push my limits.
Yeah, my previous video was too short, ended too abruptly, and I have more to say about that. Not specifically about these individuals, but like about, the public at large. People are complaining about like the whole dating scene and this and that. And then I brought up the fact that like, robbing the cradle, aka like dating someone significantly younger than you. Specifically at like that junction where this person is either transitioning from high school to university in the most idealistic sense, although sometimes like these guys like to, go younger and hit on like girls who are still in high school, still in junior high apparently. And that's what leads to the depletion, the corrosion of society, of the dating market. And then people are bringing up the whole aspect about having um, dating websites, which initially I didn't really have anything against until like it became so mainstream and so widely available and readily usable that most people, like from the newer generations, will likely have this as a substitute to doing it the old-fashioned way, which is, going up to somebody, talking to them. And like, it was rough for us. Like growing up, like you had to understand something. Like there was racism that we didn't understand, like as, young men, adolescents, whatever. Like there's people who have things against you, against your religion, against your skin color, and you won't know that until you get antiquated with like, people and their biases and like where they come from, who raises them. And the fact that Jasleen and all these self-grandiorizing individuals can't shut the fuck up is because that's their survivalist tactic. Like, imagine you're in a world where there's like, billions of mouths to feed and shit. You're from a family of like, five, six plus children, and like, your parents, they aren't doing so well, right? I don't know why they would have so many kids, again, but like, this is like the limitations of this culture and specificity, but like we're starting to see it now with like this whole hospice scam going on in California. Like there's people out there who are going to set up, try to like have as many kids as possible and have other people feed them. And they don't actually care about their own kids. They just like to have sex. And this is the reality that we're living in. So women nowadays, like they always thought that like every single guy, more or less, right, is um potential. Like they have potential. You could build on their education, their occupation, they could build their bank account, and then what would have been like, a guy that would have been rude and smelly and whatever, right, would have been like more possible to be accepting of, long-term relationship, raising of kids, providing this and that. And instead of that, we're getting this idea, right? Where these guys have, not all of them, mind you, but these guys have for the longest time commodified women. Like they saw this coming, like, you know, in the rear view mirror, metaphorically speaking, and then they just shat the bed. Like they made it so that like men in general, right? Like, how do you feel as a man, right? You don't really like insult the opposite gender a lot. Like you don't actually, do anything outside of like your occupation and like this and that. And yet some people are out there calling Andrew Tate and his homosexual band of brothers the manosphere, when instead they should call them the closeted, men's safe space or some shit like that. Because like to have such a weakling representing the entire like, male gender is just laughable. But like you have to take it a step further. Who are the people who endorsed him? Who are the people who call him, fans? Like Aiden Ross sniffing Andrew Tate's chair after he sat in it. Now you can argue that one of his chat members, paid him money and then that's why he did it. But it's like that kind of level of like, you know, self humiliation, if you will, like for the sake of views or for the sake of like, just being about it. Like the whole thing about Ada Ross and his whole crew, Jack Doherty. I don't know if they're all a crew, but like they're this weird ass kind of like streaming group of people who got their money off nefarious means, and now they're using Kick and what is the other one? I don't know if he's doing the whole OF fans thing like Jack Doherty is, but it's like these are the new generations of men that like have gotten so much success for doing basically fuck all nothing. Like if you actually want to be honest about it, Ada Ross, Jack Doherty, and everybody like these two individuals, right, are just emulating Andrew Tate. Like they're just copying him. It's like, oh, you pimp out women? Okay, I'm gonna pimp out women. Oh, you drive fast cars? Oh, I'm gonna drive fast cars. Oh, you're like, wearing trendy ass clothes, drinking alcohol, smoking cigars. I don't know if they smoke cigars. That'd be funny. And it's this kind of weird ass shit where all these guys who were following Andrew Tate from the jump never really asked themselves, like, if you have a kid, right? And obviously your kid's gonna like rely on you this and that. Like, at what age do you think you're gonna have to sit down and have the talk where, when you're talking about these air quotes women, you're not talking about your daughter, right? You're not talking about her or any of her family or any of that shit. No, you're just talking about these bad women, and you hate these bad women. And it's this kind of crazy ass shit that guys try to turn women against each other, not knowing that like every single time a girl goes to the bathroom, or every single time, like girls do their things, they're with these other girls, and they don't like this idea of having to like create divisions between their genders. We're seeing this all too often, especially in the Middle East, where you'll have. It's funny. I gotta bring this one up. There was this like girl from Saudi Arabia, right? And like, she wanted freedom, so she like locked herself in a bathroom or some shit like that. And then our Canadian MP, some like Ukrainian chick, wanted some like brownie points, brought her in. Like, thank God she didn't do anything like bad, like, terrorist bad, but like, dude, she'd be running through guys. She has her OnlyFans, like, you know what I mean? Like, independent woman ass type shit. And like, can you imagine, right? The divide between actual women and girls like this, and then what creates those kinds of women. And then you're like, what? Wait, isn't there something that like both genders share in common? Like, it's like a complete lack of self accountability and self awareness. It's like both the genders have it. Like you see Jasleen over here talking about, oh, guys shouldn't go out and insult people on the internet. That's just mean. It's like, what the fuck did you do, you idiot? Hassan's going out there. It's just like, America deserves 9/11. How come everybody doesn't like me? I'm such a fucking, a cool guy. I'm cool with the kids. No, you force your way with these kids and shit, and you have adults echoing your talking point. You know what I mean? You gotta like appear cool with like all these no names and like these adults, and that's your life. Like the greatest part of Hassan's day is when somebody that is not in his immediate friend circles brings up his name. That's why he glues himself to this like fucking monitor, his computer monitor, every single time Asmund Gold talks about him. Like he's in his chat, he's like talking about him like, without any um catalyst. So he just like brings him up out of nothing, and it's like, oh, Asmund Gold's fans and Asmund Gold and this and that. I'm like, yo, dude, when I first saw Asmongold, he reminded me of this guy I went to high school with, and yeah, I wasn't into World of Warcraft, and that guy scared me away from it, to be honest. Not Asmon, like the guy that I thought he kind of looked like. Although, to be fair, Asmon's pretty fucking tall, so he probably doesn't look like anything like this guy, right? And my biggest fear with the whole aspect about MMOs, even though technically you could argue that this is basically the reality of today, is that you're gonna get games, right? Let me give you an example. So I got like this 15-minute video of me playing co-op with these like two people in this Daemon X Machina Titanic Sign. Pretty recent game, But like the thing I like about it the most is it's like hyper multi-plat. So you got Switch 2, you got PC, you got PlayStation 5, and Xbox One. To be honest, this thing could run on a PlayStation 4. Like the load times will probably be, whatever. You'll probably have, it probably couldn't do the open world all that well. But then again, I play like Elden Ring, and Elden Ring looks fucking phenomenal on a PS4. It looks way better than this. Like this has like 4K textures, like everything from the fire effects to everything. It's just like it's Nintendo'd down. Like, I feel bad for Nintendo fans. Like holy shit, eh? Like they don't know what good graphics are. I was having this discussion with like Eclipse, and he doesn't even give a shit. He's just like, oh, I just like the game, the gameplay, the weapon, the style, all that shit. He's heavy into that, and then like the whole resurgence of like mech games, which is one of the reasons why I made this video is that Mech Warrior, this game that came out 2019, 2018, 17 actually, if you're on Xbox, because it was a Microsoft exclusive back in the day. It's getting a brand new expansion DLC pack. The number one thing, well, two things. I used to insult Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries and call it Squint Warrior because it's like you have weapons that can go hit out 800 plus meters, right? But you can only see like ahead like 600, and then to see that other 200 meters ahead, you gotta like squint your eyes. You gotta get pinpoint accuracy and shit. You're like, what the fuck is this? I'm just using missile. They changed it. So now instead of 1.25, oh my god, it's terrible. Instead of 1.25, you go from the first zoom level is like two times. It's way better than the and then the last zoom level is 4x. I don't know if you need a targeting computer for that shit. Damn, MechWarrior has returned. This was the game I wanted from the jump. Like holy shit. Like imagine you play a MechWarrior game, MechWarrior 3, but you don't have that like zoom in feature, and you have to shoot everything on your cockpit. That's so fucking lame. You're just gonna get eating missiles all day. Just why I use missiles. But the fact that it's getting DLC, the fact that Risk of Rain is hinting at DLC, fucking amazing. Like the thing I love about Risk of Rain DLC is like, at the very least, you're gonna get amazing music. At the very least, like you know, um, what was it, Secrets of the Storm, and then like the new one, I forget what's it called. Fuck, some collection of this shit. Anyways, the new tracks are fucking amazing, and the new levels, which is this is the weird shit. So I got this DLC, right, and I'm like, oh, it's cool, like it has some new levels, this and that. And then as I play it, I'm like, wait a minute, I never actually played this level before. Like, where the fuck did this level come from? Oh, they just patched it. The DLC wasn't didn't have the content of Seekers of the Void, which to me is the best Risk of Rain 2 DLC. Not only was it made by the original creators and stuff, but like it create had the most new content, new enemies, new item type, very extensive. But like I find that it like when we're talking about video games, right? Especially since like everybody's and I'm still pessimistic about it. Preparing for the release of Grand Theft Auto 6. Um yeah, like they're just wanting like this Grand Theft Auto 6. And I'm gonna just say something that's probably gonna be the most unpopular and like nobody cares about my opinion type shit. I I have no like enthusiasm for Grand Theft Auto 6, and I'll explain. You're gonna get nickel and dime for this game. I know. I've seen the writing ever since Grand Theft Auto 5. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 is an amazing game, but when you compare it to San Andreas, it's okay. Um, it's I wouldn't. I actually don't know which one's better, Grand Theft Auto 5 or 4. It might be opinion based, but I like 4 a lot, and the fact that like there's multiple endings, multiple story branching paths, and all that stuff. Like it's more like you don't really have that level of impact in Grand Theft Auto 5 like you do in Grand Theft Auto 4. Like you can literally kill off characters, and then like you can't obviously can't contact him anymore, but like it would be significantly different missions, different, friends to call on and all that stuff. I remember killing this one guy because he was just like always depressed and shit. And then my friend told me, no, 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 you gotta keep him alive, and then you can like, send buddies to like help you out. So, reloaded the save. I'm like, holy shit. Like they would go as far as to put stuff like that into the game. Like San Andreas is such an amazing game that all you really needed to do, like you didn't actually need to come out with a new game. Like if people got the chance to play San Andreas with like a new game engine, which is what the game needs. Like the game is insanely expansive and it's amazing, but like even though you can argue that Grand Theft Auto 5 has a more dense map, like it just had more going on in San Andreas. And that's why I'm very pessimistic about Grand Theft Auto 6 because first we have like the push to this Grand Theft Auto Online service, which is fucking bullshit. Like, why am I playing a game that's less than half complete and then, playing these online segments to unlock a vehicle? And to be fair, like this is the fucked up part, right? Like you play Grand Theft Auto online, and when you get those cutscenes, you feel as if even though like it's your multiplayer character and like you're in a lobby or whatever with other players, like you feel like you're playing a single player game. Like you're like, what the hell? Like this just feels like so high quality, high whatever. But that was the positions that they wanted to take. They wanted to make sure that people were not only playing their game online. We're going to buy their online currency, pay for their subscription services for Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, right? To get their Grand Theft Auto fix. And you have like the whole, um, what is it? Grand Theft Auto 6 roleplay servers. I still to this day I have no idea other than like making custom racetracks. What was the point of that? But people like literally lived inside Grand Theft Auto 6 for like the longest ass time. And yeah, like they're gonna do the exact same thing with Grand Theft Auto 6. It's just gonna be, every day people are gonna be like logging in, updating their character. You probably have like a level cap of like 1,000 plus. You just like unlock new jackets, new guns, new this. It's just gonna be fucking bullshit. And this is like one of the few games that's probably never gonna go on discount either. It's gonna be like the creators of this game are extra sour because like the game market is flooded and full of like worthless ass people who are giving their 2 cents about pretty much everything. Like Crimson Desert, for all of its flaws, is not a 5 out of 10 game, dude. Like get the fuck out of here. But I bring that up and all this like gaming nonsense and this and that because I'm beginning to see this like unstoppable like trend where the value of people mattering, like your opinion being heard, if you will, has diminished to such a fucking small level and extent that people who previously would influence media trends, commercial trends, whatever, now have to deal and contend with the fact that they are lumped in alongside everybody else as the useless masses, like as just people who will buy product, consume product, and be grateful and consume more product type people. Like the case of Hassan. Hassan calls himself, right, a socialist, but you subtract his possessions from him, and he's nothing. And he knows this. That is why, like, he's going out of his way to try and remain relevant in a world where, ultimately, due to the fact that Iran has lost, there is one last domino to fall, right? And it's the Strait of Hormuz, as all these people, all these politicians, and all these whatever. I'm just gonna break it down like this, right? Trump is a real man. If he says that he's gonna do something like I'm gonna blow up your fucking power plants if you close off all this like international world trade, not only is he gonna do it, but it's gonna be a generational fuck up because we're not talking about just the IRGC, screwing with the Iranian people. We're talking about first world retard ass liberal fucktards who pretend to be socialists, but they're, you know, neocons, if you will. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but let me explain. Um, a neocon basically does not give a shit about the sovereignty of their nation as long as they're making money, right? But they'll pretend to. Just like, you know, Hassan wears the hat of a socialist. Like, he doesn't actually want to give up any of his possessions. He does not want to allow, like, the level of immigration from the Islamic world, let's say just into California. He does not want that because he knows that this will bring, you know, hardship to the women in his state, whatever, right? Now, all throughout Europe, all throughout even like, you know, China, all these places, Australia is starting to feel it too. We have to understand that like when we're talking about like making games, we're talking about making games for two separate types of people. So the first games that we make, you know, the classical games is like, oh, this is the cool game. You get to do this. These are the armor sets. This is the monsters. This is like, you know, the end game, this and that, like all these like nerdy ass things that people throw out, and they're like, okay, cool, right? Like I'm looking into Neo 3 and trying to figure out. I'm probably gonna pick it up. I'm just like a Sony pony like that, but like I'm trying to figure out if it's as dense as Neo 2. I still haven't like touched Neo 2 after my save was an upload from PS4. All those hours gone. Um, but like now is the time to understand something about these kinds of people is that they are already taken care of, which is kind of crazy, but like hear me out. There are games and media and celebrities, especially celebrities, that cater to these individuals. So I guess the focus would be is on what you like to do and what you want to have accomplished in the future, because when we're talking about these people, do they actually have a future? Do they actually want to make anything? Like real talk. Like, what's another day in Hassan or any of these leftists' life going to be like? It's just criticize, point the finger, and create absolutely nothing. You know, another day, right?